Welcome to the channel, guys. This is Kevin with Arnold Prints. Today we're going to be doing a two-color screen print job. This is a workhorse manual press, and that's what we'll be using today, right after this. Welcome back, guys. Check it out. We basically have a screen print job already lined up. It's on our board. We're going to tape it off because it had a different design on the bottom of it. We basically did a shared screen method. So one design on one end and another design on the other. So what this does is it actually makes it so you can have two designs on one screen, saving you screen time, as well as maybe helping your customer out. So you can either give the difference to your customer, basically splitting a screen with another company and give them a cheaper rate, or just make more profit. Either way, the choice is yours. All right, guys, Arnold Printing way, we're going to set up this Statler Orthodontics. It's a black print with a nice teal looking color for a little circle on there. So it's basically Statler, and the O in Orthodontics is a little, I just got you there. You didn't even see that. So it's basically like a little whirlwind there where the O is on the chest. So single color on there. Really, it's going on a tie-dye neon pink shirt. What we could do is we could actually make that little circle, have an underbase, make it pop a little bit more. What we're going to do is just basically do a stack method. So we're going to stack that print up. So basically what I'm talking about is to screen print one set, flash it, basically using it as an underbase, and then flash it again, and then another flash on top. So almost like a two print on top of an underbase. So it's gonna pop off these shirts. You definitely have to do that whenever you're doing the tri-blend shirt. It'll soak right into it. Those tri-blend shirts, a little different on printing versus these cotton tie-dyes that we'll show you later. We're gonna show you the unboxing here shortly. Thanks for joining the channel, guys. Take a look at this process. I hope you have fun. Let's roll it, let's go. So check this out. What we're gonna do is basically a little unboxing here. So this is pretty cool. So we got some of the shirts here. This is again from Sanmar. So they'll come in a nice little box like this here, all taped up and whatnot. So let's see what we got in here. Go ahead and open the box up. Got our handy knife. Always does the job well. All right. All right, guys. All right, guys, so this is what we got. So we basically have pink tie-dye shirts. So this is the shirts that we got. So this is the same shirt that we did last time for them. You know, it's a good shirt. You know, it's made by, what is it, Sporting Company. So tie-dye shirt, probably about maybe $4 or $5 a piece. They're not really cheap, but they're a decent shirt. Now these we like a lot better. They're a lot softer. This is a Sport Tech. So Sport Tech tank top. That's a tri-blend. So it's basically a polyester, rayon, and cotton. So a mixture of the three materials. Makes it super soft. These are gonna print great. They're nice and smooth. So anytime you have any of these like tri-blends, you do need a special ink. It's not just a straight cotton ink or even just a, you know, what we use is basically like a polyester based ink. It can do cotton, but it mainly does polyester. It actually sits on these really well. It's very smooth and silky to the touch. So that's what we got. We got the big old box of shirts. What we're gonna do is basically do a print. So what we have is a couple things you'll need. So I always get gloves. This ink is nasty. We're gonna put ink on the screen. And then what we end up doing is actually making almost like a little smock type deal here. So I'm actually gonna reposition this lav mic and wear that. That way you don't get ink all over yourself. So we wear that because most of the time the ink gets on my chest or, you know, somewhere around there. So that's what we do to fix the problem, guys. So what I'm gonna do is check my squeegees. So we have these squeegees here, and you wanna basically make sure that you have a sharp edge on these squeegees. So the main thing is the sharp edge should be right here. So, you know, we've used these a little bit. I can start to tell just a hair, you know, so this one here is actually used a little bit here. And, you know, what we're actually gonna do is just run a little sandpaper down it and basically almost make a new edge. So semi-sharpen it. Yeah, the only hard part about this, if you ever run sandpaper down the edge, is you just gotta make sure that one, you sandpaper the bottom, and just be careful not to roll it. Because if you roll the edges, you're gonna have a rolled edge and you're not gonna have a straight edge. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So we're just gonna do the other side and then we'll do the bottom and we'll feel a little bit of difference. I can already feel it starting to sharpen up a little bit. Now I'll hit the bottom of it and it'll basically make that sharp edge. So the main thing is, I mean, the best thing you could do is actually replace the whole squeegee, which we'll show you how to do that down the road too. But we'll do the top. And that's actually starting to make an edge there, so it's good. A few more passes and we'll probably be good. Hit the edges here. All right, one done. This one's actually got sharp edges on it already, so that's good. All right, so next what we got here is basically screens. So this first one here has a small design. That's the little circle looking guy. So that one we're gonna put on our gloves for. So we'll drop the ink on with gloves. Light blue teal color, which has already been mixed a little bit, but you're gonna mix it up. So you usually gotta mix about, a minute or so. It's got like some almost like oils and pigments in there that need to mix up, so just make sure you're doing that real good. And this stuff is like just like water. I'm gonna slap a little bit of that on here. So we don't need a whole lot for this design. It's actually pretty simple. And this will go a long way for this. So the blue, like I said, very small amount of ink we actually need. Got these like little squeegee guys here. Buy them at the dollar store. Just buy a couple hundred of them if you got them. You could actually probably sell them, or if you got friends in the business, they're good to go. Sometimes they go out of stock, so that's why I said buy them when you can. All right, so ink's on the screen. That's the blue ink. Now we got black ink. So this ink here is basically like a poly cotton mix. So this is perfect. Like I said, we have those tri-blends that are actually cotton, rayon, and poly. So what that actually means a lot of times is it's a low temperature to cure. So we got to get this container open. Brand new container, a little tough. Just take your squeegee and work your way around the edges. So container is open. Look at this crazy looking goodness. All right, so this stuff here we're gonna mix up. Again, get those pigments running. So the main thing, like I said, get the pigments out of there, moving good. It'll turn into like silk, almost like peanut butter. So we're starting to get there. So as you can see here, very creamy stuff. This one you're gonna wanna put over your screen. The black ink is super thin. You're gonna spread it across. Again, this ink goes a long way. So we'll throw some on here. We don't need a killer amount, but that should be it. All right, another spatula. Like I said, you'll need multiples of those, especially if you got multiple colors going on. So we got 2 right now. We'll use those later down the road to help clean up. So gloves off, squeegees on board, put the screen back up, turn your carousel. Squeegee number 2, small guy, goes on board as well. And now to grab the shirts. All right guys, so the shirts are on deck. We got the shirts here, so we're gonna load them. This is gonna be a front chest print. So you wanna center them. Usually I like to use the collars to try to figure out, if the collar is that far off the board, plus fingers on the side. You can use, different landmarks. So that's centered. We're about 1 finger off of the V-neck, so that's about right. So what I do is a lot of times I use my hand, and I'll put my hand down on the board just to kind of see where it's at. So it's about 1 hand just like this from the collar. And it's not exact, but it's how we do it. So let's get into it. First color is gonna be this light blue, sort of tealish color. So push hard, you wanna clear the screen. And I'll recoat the screen. So we'll flood it. So first print's on the board. It's going to go underneath the flash cure. So basically the flash cure needs about maybe 10 seconds. Depends how high you turn the heat up on. This one's not on crazy high because we don't want to burn the shirt, and it's a low temp ink. So it's probably about done. Way you can check too if you really want to is tap it. No ink on my finger. It's good to go. So next hit. Clear the screen, coat it again. Second hit's on and final hit. So now again, flash it. So what the flashing does is basically half cures the ink, and that way too, whenever we go to print the black, the colors don't mix with each other and they don't stick on each other. So that's a huge thing that you need if you're doing multiple colors. We usually do the, say, black side last. You know, just because it's a dark opaque color, it's going to coat pretty much anything. So let's go ahead and drop the first coat of black on here. So there's different methods of doing it. You know, we usually use a push method. You can push or pull when you're squeegeeing. So got basically a first layer of ink here. This company, they kind of like having basically two passes. They like it kind of a little bit more texture, I guess, on the shirt. So one color pretty much will sit on there. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and flash it again. And then after we flash it again, we'll do another coat. That way it's got two passes. It's got a little bit more texture to it. That's just what they like. Some people don't like the feel of screen print at all on the shirt, but for these guys, we're gonna go ahead and do it because that's what they like. So, but realistically, black ink, one pass should basically do the job. All right, so black ink is flashed. We're gonna do another second pass here. Second pass is done, nice and opaque. And pull it off. So you want to pull by the shirt corners. That way it doesn't actually stick or fold onto itself. Otherwise the ink, if it's still wet, actually may ruin the shirt. So you just take this, fold the corners in, and throw it on the conveyor belt. So we'll show you how the conveyor belt works. Goes through there for about a minute or so, going down the line. So you'll see it go under here, and underneath here is basically heating elements that's going to cure the ink. So while we put the exhaust fan on is if you're using polyester shirts, it lets off a lot of gas, it off gases. So you want to wear either a respirator, you know, basically like an N95 type mask or filter, and also have filtration to your shop. That way you're not breathing this stuff in. It's probably known carcinogens, so I wouldn't say if you're pregnant this is a good idea to print or be around it just in case. But the new chemicals that are out are what they call like non-phthalate, which basically doesn't have all the chemicals that these old brands of inks did. So that's the good news. All right, so let's go check it out on the other side here. All right, guys, so what we got is your first screen printed t-shirt with Arnold Prints. Check it out, it came out great. This is a tie-dye shirt by Port & Company, sold by Sanmar, and it has Statler Orthodontics on it. So black with a sort of tealish blue color and a two-color design. So you finally finished your two-color design, guys. So another thing you can do in case your temperatures are maybe off on your dryer is you can actually take a temperature gun, and they use it in the AC industry. Check the temps on the coils, outside of the tunnel, inside of the tunnel, make sure it's hot enough, okay? Or slow your dryer belt down as well too. And the other thing we do, which is not 100% official, but almost every screen printer does it, is a stretch test. Make sure the ink is not separating and you don't see the cotton fibers in between. As always, guys, we hope you enjoyed the content. Again, my name's Kevin with Arnold Prints. Make sure to follow the channel, subscribe,
hit the bell for notifications, and give us a good thumbs up. If you have any comments or like to see more stuff, or if you had questions about what we did today, please leave a comment down below. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.